Another tool that I feel is a must is Helping Hands. Helping Hands is simply, a base with some alligator clips connected to it and a magnifying glass. It allows you to hold things, providing you basically with another set of hands so you could do some, more difficult tasks like soldering things or having things held down that would be normally flapping all around. So Helping Hands are great for that. Files. Definitely get a small set of files, of like tiny files. I use this especially for scuffing up a wire or creating contact points on a motherboard. And this picture shows files. Don't get the wrong idea. These are actually miniature files. They're pretty small. You'll see how they look in the videos. X-Acto knives. Now, X-Acto knives are something I use fairly frequently, but you never know when you're going to need something really sharp to cut something that you're dealing with. And X-Acto knives are small and they're sharp, and it's a perfect tool to get in there and cut things or shave things that need to be taken care of. And the next thing is glue. Now this is Elmer's Carpenter's glue. I'm almost using this just for the sake of the picture, but I use that very sparingly. The main glues that I actually use are a little bit of Gorilla Glue, but mainly Crazy Glue. Crazy Glue is actually very great for attaching plastic to plastic, and a lot of laptop repairs are just dealing with plastic. So definitely recommend Crazy Glue. It's cheap and you can get your hands on that pretty much anywhere as well. When you want something a little more difficult and you need a strong bond, try epoxy. They make a 5-minute epoxy, which basically dries in 5 minutes. I recommend letting it sit overnight, but you could technically dry things in 5 minutes, and then they make different bonds of epoxy, and we actually have to mix 2 tubes of material. And it smells pretty strong. You want to be in a ventilated area, but it does provide a strong bond. Haven't used epoxy in a while. Again, my main thing that I use is the Crazy Glue. Thermal grease. Now, thermal grease is what we use to create a bond between the processor and the heat sink so heat can flow through efficiently and dissipate. And a popular brand of thermal grease is Arctic Silver. And I have a little tube of that, and that's what I use mainly. It gets a little expensive, but you can use pretty much any thermal grease. You'll be okay. Now, you'll see in the later videos exactly how I use the thermal grease, how much I use, and this kind of thing. So stay tuned for that. Okay, now foam. I always use a piece of foam when I'm working on laptops so I don't scratch the top of the laptop when I'm working on it upside down. You can also use it with circuit boards if you don't want like a delicate circuit board to touch the surface that you're working on. I get these foam pieces usually out of desktop motherboard boxes. When I get a motherboard for a desktop, it's usually shipped in a box that has a square piece of foam under it. That's pretty much exactly what I'm using there. Compressed air. Now, if you watch these videos, you're going to see that I use compressed air a lot when I'm working on laptops. I use it to clean out dusty areas on a laptop. I also use it to blow out the